Alright, here's some still pictures. I didn't get any video of the mower actually right after it burned or anything, but in them you can see how the fire come up and burnt inside and outside the tins and stuff. This is inside the after I've got the mower off. Underside of it, it's all covered in dry chemical from putting the fire out. You can see how everything's kind of melted down over, and kind of just everything's charred on this thing. First looks, it looked like the motor was going to be completely trashed. So there you go. Quick look at the flywheel here to show you what's going on. This sucker's packed full of oiled mist and real fine grindings, grass and stuff, dirt. I think this is what was part of the problem with the motor. Top seal was leaking, and the just got a little bit of leaves on fire and got it on fire. Alright, we got her soaking with some degreaser and stuff. We'll get her all cleaned up. Get her nice and shiny and pretty, and once that's done, we'll get the parts in and get to putting her together. Alright, we got the block mostly all cleaned up here. Looks a whole lot better than it did when we first started. So we'll finish cleaning up some of their parts, and we'll get started putting it back together. Alright, got one piston all cleaned up. Over around here and see if you guys can see how black that one is. Get down here and crank it out here. There's the other one. So we'll get this one cleaned up, and then we're going to pull this top oil seal out. We're going to replace that. We think that's the culprit of why everything happened. So we'll get that piston cleaned up, get that oil seal out, and then we can start reassembling. Alright guys, I'm going to try to do this one-handed. We're going to pull this seal out. I got a screw ring in here, as you can see. And if you just kind of get it in there right and just kind of pop up, there it is. Up and out. No big deal. Just make sure you don't run your screw down in too far and hit anything, or off to the side and get the side of the seal ride there. So there's that. Alright, we're going to put the oil seal in. There it is, all installed. Alright, today we got the head off this motor that caught on fire. I'm going to be pulling the rockers off, pull the valves off, try to get it cleaned up. Probably recut the valve seats and the valve spaces, and we're going to take you guys along, and hope you enjoy it. So here we go. First thing we got to do is get these pins out of here. It's kind of like it's the rocker pins. That's the rocker. These are a 3-valve setup on these. So I don't have a compressor for these, so hopefully I can just push these down enough to must get something put underneath of there. Give me a second and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, I got the keepers pushed off that one. Got the spring and retainer clip there. Push this valve out and see what see what she looks like here. Yeah, she's got some carbon on her. Feels like it's got a pretty good ridge in there, down in this area here. So we'll definitely be recutting these valves. Hopefully we don't have to replace them, but that's another later date. The valve seal is gone off this one, so we're replacing that. I'll get set up to do these exhaust valves, and we'll bring you all back. Alright, this was being a little bit of a pain. Sometimes you got to put the cross shaft back in for the rocker and take a tip of a screwdriver and put under it and kind of push down, get them broke loose. But now, you know, I can do it by hand. Pop them keepers out of there. There's one. There's it. The other one just went flying, but I see where it went. Always be careful when you're doing that, guys. Don't let them go flying someplace you ain't gonna be able to find them. So, you guys probably can't see this, but oh, there goes those two there. So those are all off. Push these out. See what we got for valves on here. Okay. See, that one's nice and clean. Doesn't feel like there's much of a ridge there. I can see a nice ring all the way around it there. Kind of the same with this one. Not quite as nice of a ridge, but we'll probably still recut them and just to make them seat better, get them all cleaned up, everything. So, and then here's the little valve seals I was talking about. Oh, let's get something a little stronger than that. There it goes. They're just little caps with rings around them and rubber pieces in there. Like I said, the one on the intake valve was gone, so there you go. Let's flip this thing over and look at the back side here. There's that. And again, the intake valve seat looks a little wore. The exhaust valves look a little wide, but we'll get them recut and reseated in there. I might try to put up on the screen the dimensions and everything. It's easier than me trying to just explain to you what angles and what widths and stuff like that and what I'm doing. So when it comes time to that, we'll bring you back and let you see how that goes. Alright guys, I realize it's a little bit dark here. What we're looking at here is this little area right here, the width of that. We'll measure that. Same thing on here. This one's a little dark, so I can tell that the valve wasn't seating all the way. Very good. Plus this thing has some pretty good carbon in it. Probably with that valve seal on this intake not sealing up, was letting some oil down in here and burning, and that's what causes all that carbon and stuff to build up. I mean, it's pretty thick, but no worries. We'll get that all cleaned up, and we'll get everything. Bring you back whenever I start cutting the valve seats and valves. Okay, this is head number 2. Like I said, just push these cross shafts out like that. You can tell this one's a lot cleaner. The other one got a little hotter. Hopefully it didn't do any damage to it or anything, but we won't know that until we get it all cleaned up and inspected real good. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out and pull these valve keepers out, and or valve spring retainers, I guess you call them. I'm gonna pull them out and go ahead and start on this one. Alright, see, I let that one pop back up, and this retainer is stuck down in there now. And everything went flying on that one, so I'll bring you right back. Alright guys, I didn't find the other retainer or the other retainer clip or the retainer, so I'm going to have to get deep involved in that. But I went ahead and took the other valves out, or other valve springs and retainers and everything out. Thought I hit record, but I didn't. So, but let's pull these valves out and see what they look like. Not bad. See, there's remarkably less carbon on these exhaust valves than there was on the other ones from that one that was burning oil. This one has a little bit of carbon, and there is a little bit of a lip there. Not bad, not as bad as the other one. Like I said, you know, face of it looks even a lot better. Let's flip the head over and we'll show you what's on there. You know, still some carbon, but nowhere near as bad as the other side. This seat here is actually shiny. You can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can. So it doesn't look as bad as the other side. And I'm going to shut the camera off here and see if I can't find that other retainer and the retainer clip and retainer ring. So bring you back when we're cutting the valves and seats.